Hey guys, what's up? Chemistry here. I'm going to be showing you how to make basses on Sylenth1 since that was the kind of request that I got. But I also said I was going to do that. But yeah, one of the requests I did get, though, more specifically, was to make this kind of lower sounding bass, but still was powerful in the mid-high section. Um, probably used more in like hardcore music or hard trance or something like that. So as you can see, what I just did, I have oscillator 1 on the sawtooth and oscillator 2. The wave is this. It's kind of like a square. It's apparently called Q pulse. So put on Q pulse and 4 voices on each, and the retrig is on. So that is extremely high pitch. I don't know why that is. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the octave, we're going to bring it down by 2, -2, and that's generally what it sounds like. Now, if you adjust the phase on either one of the oscillators, or both if you prefer, that's kind of where the whole character of your bass is going to kind of come from. So looking at the phase knob here, you can kind of see how the instrument really changes as you're just kind of phasing through both waves. Alright, so I mean, this part is pretty much just preference. If you like what you're hearing, then you can just, you can choose that as being your bass sound. So if we went to the piano roll and we made a quick bass line, just a generic offbeat one, and fetch a kick here. Speed it up a bit. Right, so we're not done. What we'll do, we'll look at the filter A section here. We'll make sure it's on low pass, the filter type, and for now we'll keep the cutoff at just like 100%. And look at the drive here. So I don't know if I explained this in the last one or not, but the drive just kind of boosts certain frequencies as far as like kind of relevant to the filter type. So I mean, if you have it in low pass, the drive will do a kind of different effect than if it was on band pass or high pass. I'm not exactly sure what it would look like on an EQ, but I know it does kind of boost certain frequencies as you kind of go along by quite a bit. So you can just kind of see all the changes that's happening here. So again, this is preference. So all I was doing there was just adjusting the resonance and the drive together until I found something that I kind of liked. So another thing you could do to kind of develop this would be to look at the modulation envelope, and we're gonna make a envelope on the cutoff. So what we'll have to do is we'll make sure the cutoff is around like the 12 o'clock mark. Doesn't really have to be exactly there. I might make it a little bit more towards the 11 o'clock. And I guess I'll just do what I was doing in the last tutorial. So I'll just kind of bring up the cutoff a bit. So it'll probably be around here, and the decay, I don't know why I can't say that. The decay will be up around, I don't know, 2 or 3. So what's happening? All that's really happening is the bass is, the cutoff knob is going from here to here really quickly, and it's sounding more like an actual bass. And you can also add a little bit more realism by maybe adding more cutoff, going into the portamento section. Now, I know I didn't really go through that last time. Well, the portamento, it's just kind of like, I don't know if you guys watched the Dirty Dutch tutorial, but you know when I was sliding the pitch from one note to another, it's kind of like doing that, but just you have a little bit less control of when it happens. But if I bring the portamento up to, like, let's say 5, which is pretty dramatic, and you have to change the mode to slide instead of normal, there's a bit of a slide from one note to the other pitch wise. So if I make it a little bit higher, if you guys can really see it, you guys see what I mean? So what I'll do is I'll have it around like 4, and so that when it switches notes throughout the bass line, there'll be a bit of a slide, a bit of a delay between like one pitch to the other, which would be pretty realistic if someone was using an actual like bass instrument. So this is all pretty much just the experimental knobs here. So the modulation, the drive, the resonance, and the phase would be kind of like the things you guys can kind of mess around with on your own, and kind of find something that you guys prefer. So that'll be the first one. And I'd also like to show you more than just one bass. So we've got quite a bit of time left. Alright, so bass 2. This part I have no idea what exactly I'm going to be doing, but I think maybe I could do a wobble bass. I know how overdone that is though, so I'm not sure. But I could make one that kind of talks a bit, and I mean it's so intriguing when you make something like that. But so let's say I have saw on 4 voices and sine 4 voices, or I can make it square, bring it down a bit until it sounds like a bass. So again, I'm doing the exact same thing, only real difference is instead of having Q pulse, I just have a regular pulse or square tooth type thing. And now I'm going to show you the whole LFO section, which essentially what LFO does is instead of having it like the modulation where it's just like one movement, it's a continuous movement of a knob that's kind of usually fluctuating back and forth to add an extremely fast effect that you can barely like comprehend, or an actual on time, like on beat kind of effect, which is what we're probably going to do here. So if I have the cutoff on low pass, and we had it around here, brought the resonance up a bit, and then maybe we'll mess around with the drive later. What we can do with the cutoff knob, same thing as the modulation, just in the low frequency oscillator 1 section, we'll add LFO to cutoff A and B. So I guess it's this one here, and or I guess that one and the other one. But anyway, and it's a very similar concept. It's kind of hard to get your head around it, but we'll take the rate. And this is how fast the fluctuation is going to happen. So 1/4 would be kind of like a quarter note. It's like every change is happening for a quarter note length of time, if you know what I mean. And obviously we have to have the gain up. So don't forget to have the gain knob up at least a little bit for the effect to actually happen. And same thing for this knob down here. So if I have that at 10, all that's really happening is the cutoff is just kind of going back and forth in a sine shape, kind of a nice fluent kind of fluctuation. However, if I could have it like this, you guys can see how that kind of works. But I mean, sine is usually the more common one. So in order to get that whole talking sound, you really do need some distortion. So again, Sylenth1 does have decimate distortion in it. However, there's quite a few free plugins you can get, and I believe I did show you them. I guess I could see if I still have it. Tile Bit Crusher. That's basically decimation. So if you guys want to just do it externally like that, it's up to you. But Sylenth1 does come with a decimator. So already you can kind of hear. I should probably show you the offset. Will kind of affect how it'll kind of affect the depth of the fluctuation, so kind of how far it goes. But I mean, that's not necessarily true, because that's exactly what this does. However, if I get you to listen to it, maybe you guys will kind of be able to hear what I'm talking about. So here it's almost like it's a straight line, but here it's like a full sine. You know what I mean? And somehow we got back to the generic wobble bass. Anyway, you guys get the idea. So that's 7 minutes of that. I guess I can make another one. Can I make another one? See, thing is, with bass 1, right? We're just kind of using it like a sort of thing, right? But we can also use it as kind of a lengthy type thing. And for example, if I had something like this, and the kick, and what I could do is go to the mixer and use either sidechain compression or gross beat. I'll just use gross beat because it doesn't take quite as long. This is just a preset I made here for the sidechain. So essentially there's the volumes coming up and going back down in correlation with the kick. Some people prefer that over just regular like offbeat basses. And I mean, you can make kind of a rougher sound with that as well. Like if we added on to that bass, and I'll just clone it so that we don't lose what we had earlier. But if we just, let me see, let's rename that. So if we had, see, because the thing is, we have part A already full, but we haven't already used part B yet. So what we could do is have like a bit of a chord going on here. So if we have, let's say, saw, right, on just octave -1, but we change the note, and we could do the same thing here, change the note up to 7. detune it a bit. Don't forget to add like things like reverb and delay if you really want it. I mean, those are important to add like more realism to the mix. So same thing here. Alright, so all I really did is to make it sound more like, I don't know, lively and happy is all I really did was have the H pulse here on oscillator B2 to +7 as the note, and that makes a bit of a chord, like a mini kind of chord, like a I forget the word for some reason. Interval. It makes an interval. Anyway, I was just trying to kind of clean up the big like mess in the midsection, but with really horrible EQ. But anyway, so I guess you guys hopefully get the idea. So that's 3 basses for you. So 3 different kind of styles for you guys to mess around with. I'll leave this all in the description, and hopefully the file I'll give you is going to work, because I mean I'll try to give you the actual preset file and not the FLP this time. However, in my last tutorial I did end up adding the preset file, so anyway, hope that works. It's back to bed now because I'm extremely tired. I don't know if you guys notice in the way I talk, nothing really makes sense, and that tends to happen when I'm tired. So yeah, there you go. Hope this was helpful, and I answered to that guy's request the way I mean, I don't know exactly what he meant, so I hope this was up to par and you know what you were talking about, sir. Anyway, well, there you go. Good seeing you guys, and oh right, I forgot to mention I actually have a post on Facebook right now that is relevant to the fact that I'm about to reach 10,000 subscribers, and I'd like to know what you guys want to see as far as a tutorial, because I was thinking I'd make like a long tutorial, like 1 hour to 2 hour long, and I want to make something that will make the majority of you happy. So if you guys want to see me make a certain type of genre, no matter how much it might not be my style. However, if you know it's not my style, then I probably won't make a great. It probably won't be as good of a tutorial if it was like something that was relatively, whether it was easy to learn or something that I'd be able to do. I don't know. So if you guys want to see me do or make a certain genre of music, I suggest you click the link down below to Facebook. There'll be the question, and it'll be kind of a poll with like several different genres that I've seen requested a lot, and yeah, so you guys will be able to vote on what you like to see. I make no promises that they're gonna sound or they're gonna be any good, like I say, especially if I'm really not familiar with that genre. But yeah, I'll give it a shot, and yeah, I thought I'll let you guys know. So anyway, I'm done, and yeah, see you for the next tutorial, which will probably be that one. So see ya.